If you're going to do keto, there are some basics. This is a high-fat diet. So there's no getting away from that. You know, if you're somebody who's scared of fat, you've come from fat phobia, you've come from the low-fat days, you've got body dysmorphia, you've got body image issues, then you've got to get around that because this is high fat. You know, all the other macros pale into insignificance when it comes to fat. Fat is king, queen, and prince on this, and princess as well.
So welcome back to The Peaks Life. I'm Mike Warren, here today with Lynn Fernie as usual. Little bite-sized chunks of Lynn's wellness wisdom, and occasionally I give some tips of great advice. In fact, quite often
I don't think you do. I don't think you do. None of our listeners believe that.
They do, because some people actually comment, Mike, you should speak more. Lynn seems to dominate the show and you just act like the dumb host.
Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments, guys. What do you want? More of Mike? More of Lynn?
Don't put it in the comments. You're not getting more of me. My time is very valuable and I try and preserve it. Anywho, keto. We're going to go back to keto today, talking keto.
We never went away from keto, Mike. Explain that. We never went away.
Sometimes we wander off into sleep and cold exposure and other things. But today we're going to come back to keto. And the reason why is because I've got a good friend of mine who has been struggling for a long, long time to get onto keto, keeps falling off the wagon, back on, back on, back off, back on. And it just got to me, to me thinking, is there just a really simplistic way of doing the top 5 keto hacks? So today's podcast, I've called it the top 5 keto hacks. So I'm going to pick your brains for, if I said to you, what are the top 5 things you must remember when going on to keto? That's what I want to talk about. Just so people, rather than the long noise around the detail of keto, do these 5 things and you will be successful on keto, full stop. Remembering keto's a long game. You do have to follow the plan. So remembering all that, but if people listening in just follow these 5 pieces of advice, they would get the results they deserve on keto.
And I think, you know, one of the challenges that I see that people are having right now is that they go out and they're looking for information. And because keto is the most researched diet at the moment, because it's gaining popularity, because it's getting such amazing results, it's now getting recognised. We see the medical profession picking it up.
Yes.
So because there's this real, you know, what feels like a real groundswell, and we're going against the dietary advice from the last 40, 50, 60 years, and we're going back to traditional forms of eating, and we're all recognising that keto is the way to go, keto carnivore. I think what's happening is there is an absolute explosion in the amount of information that's around. And so if you're starting today, very different to when you and I started, Mike, but if you're starting today and you're trying to work out, well, what do I do? How do I do it? Where do I go?
Yeah.
It's very, very difficult, very confusing. Everybody's got an opinion. Everybody's got a story. Everybody's got a journey. Everybody believes their own way is the only way. And there's some really simple things that you need to do. And if you follow those, you can actually get rid of all the clutter and noise.
Yeah. So
and stick to simplicity.
Yeah. And I think the other thing is everyone who is not keto. So we just watched the movie The Game Changers, yeah? And
we did.
Yeah, the vegans are...
Review coming soon.
Review coming soon.
So if you're thinking, so I'm going to get a soundbite. If you're thinking of doing vegetarian or vegan because you've watched The Game Changers, please, please, please wait for our review.
Yes.
Because, you know, in all seriousness, that movie is basically funded by big food, big pharmaceutical companies, and it is aimed at getting them back into, you know, back to more profitable status. Yeah. It's not aimed at improving your health, but it's been done really, really well. So wait for the, you know, it's an awesome movie.
So what I was
wait
saying,
for the review.
Before you jumped in. Anyway, what I was saying is everyone, the vegans, the paleos, the carb eaters, everyone has their opinion and tries to drag the keto people away from keto. And so not only are you getting this wealth of information, you're also getting all the naysayers. And so unfortunately, the people tuning in who are just going into keto are surrounded by negative noise and educational, informational, opinionated noise. So the 5 keto hacks we're going to discuss today are just 5 simple things that anyone could do, should do, and they will get success with keto.
Well, so enough of the waffle. Let's get into them.
I'm waiting for you. You went off on a bloody movie review. Come back, woman, come back.
Go on then. Top 1.
All right, top 1.
What's your top?
I'm going to do the ins and outs. So what goes in your body in keto, top 5 hacks, make sure you know exactly what goes in. Tell me what I mean. macros is where I'm going with that. Just in case you
I
weren't
have
sure.
no idea where
You
you're
do.
going. So I think the top hack is, and it is really simple, it's know the macros.
Yes.
Right.
So measure the macros.
So, well, before we get to measurement, if you're going to do keto, there are some basics. This is a high-fat diet, so there's no getting away from that. You know, if you're somebody who's scared of fat, you've come from fat phobia, you've come from the low-fat days, you've got body dysmorphia, you've got body image issues, then you've got to get around that because this is high-fat. You know, all the other macros pale into insignificance when it comes to fat. Fat is king, queen, and prince on this,
brilliant.
and princess as well. So we are talking the basic keto, and again, you'll see different varieties of this, but the basic keto lifestyle is a macro of 75% of your calories coming from fat. So that, for many of us, is a huge hike in fat. We've perhaps been used to having 25, 30, 40, 50 grams, so maybe 1 to 2 ounces. We're now talking about 150 to 200 grams of fat or even more. So a significant number of ounces, you're talking 6 or more ounces potentially. And, that's a really high amount of fat. So get to know what the amount of fat is and make sure that you get your fat in when you're transitioning. So you can skip other things, but you really need, in that first 30 days, to get plenty of fat in. Plenty of fat from good sources. So you want the nice, healthy, the animal fats, the butter, the ghee, the tallow, maybe olive oil, maybe avocados. You want to put all those good fats in, and that's your primary fuel. Your body's going to take that fat and it's going to burn it for energy. So that's the key thing. The second key thing, and still in the macros, is don't overeat protein. So protein should be about 20% of your diet. So we're not, we're going to have protein at every meal. Whether you have 1, 2 or 3 meals a day actually doesn't matter. Regardless of what people say, it doesn't matter. So you want to have a bit of protein at every meal, but not too much. So again, work out, actually weigh some protein. Take a piece of meat, put it on the scales, and then use one of the apps like Carb Manager to calculate how much protein is in that bit of steak or the mince or the pork or the bacon, and get to the point where you can eyeball a piece of protein and know how much protein's in it. So we're not talking about the weight of the meat, we're talking about the protein calories.
Yes.
And protein calories, basically we're talking about 4 calories per gram. Is what you've got in terms of calories of protein. So, let's take an average steak, let's say 100 grams of steak, so 100 grams of meat, that might have in it about 30 to 35 grams of protein. Multiply that by 4, that's going to give you about 120 calories coming from protein. So pretty easy to work out, but spend a bit of time getting used to it.
Get it right.
And then still on the macro counts, the other really, really important one to watch out for is your carbohydrates.
Yes.
Because what we're doing is we're going high fat and low carbohydrate, which means carbs have got to go. Get them out of your diet. If you're uncertain at first, you're better to go down to 0 and have absolutely no carbs, feel what it's like to be in ketosis, and then gradually bring carbohydrates back later on and find out what your upper limit is. So we normally would say 5% of your calories, which translates, for most people into 20 to 30 grams or up to about an ounce of carbohydrates. And that's not a lot. And that's predominantly going to come from your above ground vegetables.
Yes.
So you can still get your veggies in, don't worry about that. A couple of meals a day with veggies, you'll be fine. What you don't want to be doing is adding in lots of the keto snacks that may have a bunch of carbs in them. So stick to the macros, 75% fat, 20% protein, 5% of carbohydrate. Like I said, go lower on carbohydrate if you're unsure, and go higher on fat if you're unsure.
Okay.
The middle bit of protein, you'll make that up, but the two ends, the fat and the carbohydrate, so fat up, carbs down, that's hack number 1.
Okay, so hack number 1, know what goes in.
Know what goes in.
Measure what goes in, run your numbers, understand your macros. We still have people out there saying, I'm on keto and I'm struggling to get results, and we ask them what they're eating and they're still not aware of their macros. So Lynn's hack for keto number one, know what goes in, understand your macros, understand exactly what that means,
Yep.
understand how to measure and weigh and calculate.
That's it.
And make sure you follow the keto program the way it's supposed to be done, the right way, and then you've got the better chance of success. So we've done hack number one, what goes in.
Yep.
Hack number two is what comes out.
And this is not what comes out of your body, it's what comes out of your diet.
Get rid of the shit. Shit goes.
And this is where, again, you're going to see lots of people talking about dirty keto, lazy keto, all varieties of keto.
Lazy people.
And potentially lazy people. Because
there's an echo in the studio.
if you want to be successful here, get rid of the processed food. The whole basis of the ketogenic lifestyle is healthy whole foods.
Yes.
So we're talking about meat, fish, eggs, cheese, a bit of dairy, nuts, plant-based products. We're talking about nice, wholesome, healthy fats. What we're not talking about is processed foods, so get rid of the processed foods. They often contain shit fats, toxic fats. They contain all the things that have made you sick until this point, so why would you keep eating them? Get rid of the junk food, because it probably contains hidden carbohydrates or additives, preservatives and things in there that are going to basically wreck your diet and wreck your health long term. So get rid of the processed, get rid of the junk, get rid of the toxic fats. So there we're talking about the canola oil, the safflower oil, the sunflower oil, the rapeseed, the cottonseed, the flax, all of those oils that get marketed in the supermarket as being great to fry in, great for your baking, you know, margarine, all of those things, they are industrialized. They're basically made from an industrial process. They're not healthy, they're not whole foods, and they've got no place in your ketogenic lifestyle.
Pig soap.
And they originally came...
If you don't know what pig soap is, one of our other episodes tells us about the history of some of these oils back to soap making days and fuel oils.
They will, so people will be confused. Basically, way back in the 1800s when they were looking for a replacement for soap made from pig fat, they took some waste oil and they converted it into an edible oil. So that's the process still used today. Take a waste oil, convert it basically in a big chemical factory and make it into something that you now use in your food, and you know, you make margarine and those sort of things from it. So don't have those.
If you think of pig soap, it'll make you less excited about your canola oils and your industrial oils.
That's it. So get rid of all of those. So get rid of the processed food, get rid of the junk food, get rid of the toxic fats, and then the last one in the get rid of, the out category.
And this is a big one.
And this is a huge one.
Because a lot of people still want to hang on to this bullshit sweetener thing.
It is. We want you to get rid of artificial sweeteners.
Yes, get rid of all friggin' sweeteners, but get rid of the artificial. Sorry, a bit passionate because we have so many people who don't get the results they truly deserve. They put so much effort and energy into keto, and they just don't get the results. But they're doing a bit of monk plant or a bit of stevia or a bit of artificial stuff, and they're trying to keep that sweetness alive rather than cutting the ties with sweetness.
Well, and look, there are two distinct issues. There are more than two. If you are interested, please listen to our episode on artificial sweeteners, because it contains some incredibly valuable information. But a very quick 2-minute summary. The first one is, as Mike just said, you are going to basically keep your sweet tooth. So you know, if you're like this, you love your carbohydrates, you love your sugars, you love your cakes, your biscuits, your pastries, your cookies, your candies, your lollies, you name it, you like it when it's in that category. If you continue to eat those sort of foods and you're having artificially sweetened varieties, all that you're doing is keeping your body in the habit of having those sweetened foods. And what that will do is it will basically stop your palate adapting, and it will stop you really fully transitioning into the keto lifestyle where you appreciate and enjoy keto foods. And the second issue is many of those sweeteners, not the stevias or the lohango or the monk fruit, because they are natural. Many of the others, the erythritol, the ones that are sold as basically 0 carbs, 0 calories and keto friendly options, they actually do gut damage. They damage the gut, they cause bloating, IBS, they cause major wind and gastrointestinal distress. people have coming along to us with, big bloated bellies and gut damage.
Yes.
And that will derail you. And like I said, it will affect your health. It'll probably mean you've still got issues with brain fog, mental clarity, and all that sort of thing. So they're super damaging, but until you cut them out, you often don't realise.
And the challenge is people argue that they fit in with the keto macros, and they do.
They do.
They do fit in. They don't break your macros or break the formula, but they're just not good for you.
Exactly.
And they keep that one foot in the sweetener side of things, and they drive you to look for sweet food. And we see all the time people looking for the sweet alternative. Can I find something that's just like what I used to eat? Can I have a cheesecake like I used to eat, but a keto friendly one? Well, you're going to have a sweetener in there, so it's going to be a sweetener that we're recommending you don't have. So find a way to have a different food source that doesn't need the sweetener, doesn't need you to keep that sweet tooth alive.
That's it. So again, have a listen to the artificial sweeteners episode, because we do give some options,
Yes.
For what you can do as replacements.
Let's go to the dentist and get that bloody sweet tooth out.
That's it.
Get it ripped out.
Get rid of the sweet tooth.
And
All right.
enjoy a good lifestyle. Anyway,
What's the next one?
so we've done hack number 1 is what goes in, so making sure we understand what goes in. Hack number 2, a bit passionate there, is what comes out. So clean up the shit in your diet, get it out if you're really serious about keto and getting it right. Hack number 3 is all about hydration.
It is. So a lot of people really don't understand this one, and they hear the message you've got to hydrate when you're on keto.
It just doesn't mean water, does it?
It doesn't mean just water. It does mean having plenty of
Absolutely.
water. So
Cheers.
cheers. Have a nice glass of bubbly water or filtered water.
But more than that.
But more than that, when we're talking about hydration, what we're talking about is making sure that not only our mouth feels good, that we've had water to drink, that we're able to digest our food. It means all of the cells need to be hydrated.
Yep.
And the reason why this is an issue on the ketogenic lifestyle is because when we are a carb eater, so in our past lives, what would happen is when we would basically eat the carbs, our body will store the carbs in our muscles and in our cells, and it stores it as glycogen. And for every gram of carbohydrate we're storing, it's going to store about 3 grams of water.
Yes.
Right, so if I'm taking a handful of carbohydrate like pasta, then take another 3 handfuls of water, and that's what the body is storing in its cells.
There's plenty of water in there.
So you've got lots of water, and that's why a lot of people lose weight initially on keto, because what happens when you go keto, your brain basically says to the kidneys, hey, I don't need all this water to be stored. You can get rid of it now. I've got no glycogen. I've got rid of that. I've burned through all the glucose and glycogen, and you can just release it. So the body just releases all that water. And so people notice they go onto keto, they pee a lot, and they lose 2, 3, 4 pounds in the first week.
Yes.
Celebrate success. Guys, sorry, it's water weight. And you don't need to store water on board anymore. But when you lose the water, you lose sodium with it. And sodium is a key electrolyte. When you lose sodium, you also lose potassium. And again, that's a key electrolyte. So what's happening is your electrolyte balance is going out of whack.
Yes.
That leads to you feeling, a bit off, maybe having a bit of keto flu, a bit of brain fog, wanting to sleep, a bit fatigued. And it can, you might start really good and have lots of energy initially, and then after 7 days you go downhill and you start feeling tired. All of these symptoms are usually because your cells have lost their water, they've lost their sodium, they've lost their potassium, and they're all crying out saying, we're out of whack. So in order to keep everything nicely in balance and really, ticking along really well, what you've got to do is, first of all, replace the water, but secondly, you've got to add sodium to the water. So it means adding salt. So not your table salt, not the white refined stuff. You know my motto, the white is bad. Bring the good stuff in.
Yep.
So the ideal is we're going to use Himalayan pink salt, Celtic sea salt, Redmond salt, any of the really nice unrefined and coloured salts. So usually these salts, you see them, they're pink, they're grey, they've got flecks in them, and that's all coming from the minerals, and they'll have up to 84 minerals contained in the salt. The salt is sodium chloride, so when you take that salt, you're going to get the sodium, going to replace the sodium in your cells. And once sodium is in balance, usually then the potassium will come back in balance. So you'll get rid of the heart palpitations, you'll get rid of the swelling around the feet and the ankles, the edema that you get, you'll get rid of that water retention, you'll get rid of the bloated belly. All of those things will basically go very, very quickly once you get your sodium potassium balance right.
And that's why it's a hack, because there's so many people who struggle because they get those symptoms as they go into keto. So they fall off the wagon, or they stop doing keto because they get bloated, tired, fatigued. They get all those symptoms of dehydration, and they go, keto's not for me.
That's it.
So simple hack, keep that hydration up with good quality minerals. Make sure you know what goes in, make sure you know what to take out. Last couple, so one of them is, or both of them actually, a little bit left of base, because these aren't things that people naturally would think are success factors for keto. But we know from coaching hundreds of people that if you add these last two in, your chances of success with keto are going to be boosted significantly. So exercise, why?
Yeah,
movement.
Movement and exercise.
Yes.
The reason is because, the foundation, the building block is the good diet and lifestyle.
Yes.
But what we know is you can eat all of the best things in the world, and then if you are sedentary and you can't get any form of movement, you're not doing a lot for your health. So we're looking holistically, not only at the way that you eat, but the way that you move and that you live your life. And we know that if you put some movement together with a really good lifestyle in terms of the way that you're eating, you'll get faster, more sustainable results, and you'll get longer term, you'll be healthier.
Yes.
Because if you can do a bit of exercise, it's going to be good for your heart. Just eating right is great for your heart, but it's not working the heart, it's not working the cardiovascular system. It's going to help you prevent diseases. It's going to help your body detox. So if you can move around, you go for a good long walk, you might build up a bit of a sweat. We know that when you sweat, you're getting rid of some of the, the toxic materials in your body. So you want to get rid of, you've had a lot of toxic shit for the last however many years. We now need to get rid of it. You're going to get rid of it through those 5 detox pathways, and there's an episode all about that. Sweating is one of them. So build up a bit of a sweat the toxins out, help your heart, help your body, pump everything around your body, get the whole cardiovascular system working, and get everything, in balance, basically.
Yeah. And especially if you are one of those people tuning in who is using keto as a way to manage your weight, which a lot of people do, to reduce a bit of body fat or get down to the ideal size. That movement piece is key, and we often have people say to us, can I just do keto alone and get results? And of course the answer is yes, you could.
You'll certainly get results.
You'll certainly get results, but holistically you'll get faster results, you'll get more sustainable results, you'll get healthier results if you add in some movement that you love.
Exactly.
You can do it on a regular basis, your results will be significantly more. So it's a very good key to long-term keto success.
It really is, and I think there's two other things to say there. One is that especially if you've got weight to lose, and we know a lot of people are coming to this because they are overweight or obese, and if you've got significant amounts of weight to lose, then you are going to want to build up strength and muscle on your journey, because you may have struggled to move and exercise until now. And so we've really got to reverse some of those issues. We've got to get you back into movement and exercise patterns that support your new lifestyle, support your new body. You may have excess, skin from when you were bigger. And again, exercise it's not going to get rid of it all, but it is going to help you tone up and look better and feel better about your body. And it's going to allow you to move more functionally in your daily life. And my only caveat is balance.
Yeah, don't go silly.
Don't go over the top. Some people get this newfound, energy, they get excited, they do some movement, they've lost some weight, they've been on the way of eating, they've got more energy, and then they go too far. And again, they tend to get fatigued. So build it up. If you're new to exercise or you haven't been moving, then build it up slowly, get yourself a good foundation, and then just watch out for overtraining. Don't become, a weekend warrior. Don't become the sort of person who's on the gym treadmill for 2 hours a day.
Absolutely.
Because that's not going to help you. Build in especially strength training, resistance training, plyometrics if you can. All of those things are really going to help you.
Excellent. All right, the last hack is again one that people don't traditionally think. To be successful on keto, I must get this one sorted. But we do know that if you don't get this one right, it won't support your keto journey. You won't get the results, and in a lot of cases, you actually start to go backwards, won't you?
Absolutely.
And that's all about sleep.
It is about sleep, and without going into the depths of sleep. See what I said?
So
depths of sleep.
Very funny.
Yeah,
you're the funniest person on this podcast. Or you're top two.
Top two.
Top two.
So look, we've done a podcast and vlog all about sleep, 5 sleep hacks. We've done a few others. Go and look them up. But the summary is, sleep is when your body rests. It basically repairs itself. It restores itself. It regenerates cells. It goes through all of those processes. And if you're not sleeping for long enough, you're not getting enough good quality sleep, then you basically won't assimilate all the benefits from your amazing new lifestyle. And especially, and this is the big shocker for a lot of people, if you're not sleeping well, your body's going to be under stress and your hormones are going to be out of whack, and you will not lose weight at the rate that you would expect, compared to somebody who is getting lots and lots of sleep. So it will either stall, plateau, or you will perhaps even start to go up in weight.
Yes.
So don't underestimate. You should be sleeping better anyway, because the ketogenic lifestyle and the ketogenic foods actually usually cause people to have much, much better sleep.
Yes.
So you should be sleeping like a baby now. But if you're using your new energy levels to go and do lots of work or party hard or whatever it is, you might be working against yourself. So just give yourself a break. Get to bed nice and early. Follow all the tips that we normally give. Get up at the regular time. Have a nice environment for sleep, good sleep environment, and make sure you get really good quality sleep.
And think of it as part of your keto lifestyle. Don't think of it as just an extra thing. So if you're planning to start keto or you're in keto, one of the elements of keto should be structured sleep, managing your sleep. One of the elements should be movement. And then we should look at your hydration, which is another element. We should understand the macros and the measurements and the numbers. And then we should look at what comes out of your diet. And they're 5 simple hacks. And what we know, Lynn, and we've done this for a long time now, what we know is if people follow those without the argument, without the bullshit, I can't, it's too hard, without all that, if they just simply followed those 5 hacks and didn't try and keep one foot in the old lifestyle,
That's it.
we could almost guarantee that they would get an amazing keto lifestyle, they get the results they want, they'd feel fantastic,
That's it.
and our work here would be done.
That's absolutely right. They would put us out of business.
Yes.
Because we'd have nothing more to say. Everybody would be in an amazing place.
They'd be feeling awesome.
And I think just the last thing to say, some people might be surprised that we haven't talked about fasting, because one of the big things that we promote is time restricted eating or intermittent fasting.
Yes.
And the reason for that is really what we're talking about here is, what's going in and out and making the most of it. You can do all of what we've talked about today and get amazing results without fasting.
Yes.
On the flip side, you could fast and not necessarily do all the keto tips and get some amazing results. Put the two together and you will supercharge your results.
Yes.
But we don't even recommend you start fasting until you've done our 5 top hacks.
Yes, get it right first.
Then number 6 will be all about fasting.
And then we talk about breathing and cold exposure, and they're all the next levels
That's it.
of things that are going to boost your wellness and add to how you feel.
That's it.
But the first step, and we can't shortcut this because we need to get this right, first step is to listen to those 5.
Get the basics right.
Get the basics right.
That's
Have a
it.
look at everything and make sure you've ticked the boxes of those 5, and then you're going to get the results. Then you can start adding the other stuff in.
Exactly right.
So great value, great information. Good luck out there for those people tuning in, and we'll see you next time on The Peaks Life.
Absolutely.